how to leave people stunned and mesmerized. Whether it is the movers and shakers of your industry, whether it is the prime time media and the journalists, whether it is your employers, or whether it is the passerby on the street. None of them looks, feels, or judges you by way of their conscious mind. No, sir, they do not. None of them, not a single one, looks at you as if you were a blank slate and creates their impressions about you after a day or so to evaluate what they have gathered. Why not? Because the human being is not built this way. It will be an enormous mistake, and I'm certain you have made this mistake before, we all do, of believing that human beings are creatures of reason and intellect. They are not. They have never been, and they never will be. It is not the rational mind of the other that looks at you. Why not? Because the mind, by its very nature, is irrational. And the intellect is for computation more so than for perception. It's not the other person's mind that sees you, nor is it his or her intellect. It is his spirit. And spirits are mesmerized when they encounter an enlightened spirit. I'll say that again. Spirits are mesmerized when they encounter an enlightened spirit. People consider spirituality to be this outwardly element which has nothing to do with their practical daily existence. They consider it as a sort of hobby or sideshow. Words sometimes get in the way. You don't have to call it spirituality. You can call it whatever you wish. The point is, it is the state of your mind that determines how much turnover you have among your managers, staff and employees. It is the state of your mind that determines how much wealth you amass. It is the state of your mind that determines whether you come off as lukewarm or downright captivating to those who buy your products and contribute to your empire. And shall I tell you what is the most perfect, supreme, sublime and highest state of mind there is? Shall I tell you the state of mind of the gods? Shall I tell you the state of mind exhibited by the ancient saints and seers and glorious shamans who walked the earth? The state of no mind, the state of Atmaman. I'll tell you another secret. Mind is interference. This is why human beings suffer highs and lows. This is why human beings suffer divorces. This is why human beings have fits and stops and starts and emotional turmoil. Once you remove the mind from your path, the heavens literally open up to you. Literally. Because you finally have the most mesmerizing capability of a human being in your grasp. Clarity. It is like the movie, Limitless. But you don't need a drug called NZT. The power is already hardwired in you. You see, once you become consistently clear, you trigger a biochemical reaction within every person you meet. The moment you shake hands with that person, or give them a hug, or even stand in front of them, their spirit immediately senses that you are enlightened. And they begin to abide by your suggestions and offer to go out of their way to help your cause and tell the world about you and practically worship the ground you walk on. Why? Because they have no choice. That's why. Because they are not functioning by way of their conscious mind or their intellect. They are driven and controlled by their spirit. Their spirit is their charioteer. And once it detects clarity in you, even in the slightest, they submit to your will. It's just that simple. Why do you think that throughout the history of India, businessmen donated cars and palaces and millions of dollars to a Swami? Because it was so rare for the man to have found someone who had clarity. The spirit within them overcame them, and they became not only an advocate but a worshipper of this Swami. They wouldn't just sing his praises, they would be willing to walk to the ends of the earth for him. I must say, the secret that I share with you are not meant for the ears of the masses. They're meant for unicorns. They're meant for one of a kinds. And understand this, the people who end up coming to me almost never know that they are one of a kinds. But if they learn precisely how to listen to the spirit within them, they immediately see it. The spirit must be sharpened, and it does not take long to do so. Once you do so, your life, the world, and all the people in it will toss rose petals on the ground you walk upon.